All right, Miss Bauer back here with hopefully our final video. We'll see. So this is video 3 in this series. So we have been looking at an article now, or a piece of text, and talking about what we should do before, during, and after reading that text. So we already went through the title. The title was Animal World, and we figured out that our text was probably about the way animals sleep based on subheadings, pictures, and captions. So we were going to think about what we already know about the way animals sleep, but let's look at number 2 quick. Number 2 is, do you think this looks like a cause and effect, compare and contrast, problem and solution, description, or sequence? Okay, so remember, let's try to remember what cause and effect was. Cause and effect was, they would go, like, there would be things in there that would say, well, this happens and makes this happen. So animals sleeping. I don't know. I'm not sure if. So this is our article here. Let's see, can we go all the way back to beginning? I don't want to end the show. Well, let's scan all the way back. It's not going to hurt us, right? Okay, so these are different descriptions. So cause and effect. Ideas, events in time, or facts are presented as causes of the resulting effects, or facts that happen as a result of an event. So, I mean, we're talking about animals sleeping. I mean, I guess you could call that an event, but it doesn't really look like we're talking about cause and effect to me. So, compare and contrast. Information is presented by detailing how 2 or more events, concepts, theories, or things are alike and or different. So, I wonder if they're going to be comparing and contrasting ways that animals sleep. That could be. So we'll kind of save that in the back of our mind. Description. A topic is described by listing characteristics, features, attributes, and examples. So definitely maybe. Problem and solution. So if we're talking about animals sleeping, a problem and 1 or more solutions to the problem is outlined. I wasn't getting a problem and solution vibe from the captions and the subheadings. It just sounded like either description or compare and contrast. Sequence. Items or events are listed in numerical or chronological sequence, either explicitly or implied. I wasn't getting a sequence vibe from it because they started talking about different animals. So it wasn't like, they didn't talk about like the sequence of events in an animal's life or the way animals fall asleep or hibernate or something like that. I didn't see anything like that, but let's look at our signal words. So I particularly was interested in compare and contrast or description for this article. So here are some of our words: but, on the other hand, instead of, as well as, similar to, different from, however, nevertheless, although, also, in contrast, alike, same as, either or, in the same way, just as, likewise, in comparison, and whereas. So let's look at description. For example, for instance, specifically, in addition, described as, to illustrate, another, such as, first, second, third, including, is like, and characteristics. So those are the 2 things that I'm thinking this article is, but just take a quick look at some of our other word lists so that when we go back to the article, we can kind of check it out and see if by any chance we think it might fall into those other categories. Like, we might be wrong and it might fall into the other ones. Okay. So let's skip through here really quick. All right, there's our article. Okay. So, so now we've narrowed it down to compare and contrast or description. We know some of our signal words that we're going to be looking for. Let's move to this next slide. So we know we have it narrowed down between this one and this one. So what do we already know about the way animals sleep? Do you know anything about the way animals sleep? I know like bears hibernate, and I was always told cows sleep standing up, but I'm not sure if that's true. I guess I don't really know a lot about the way animals sleep. So I want you to think about what you know and kind of take like an inventory of what you know, and then start to think about some things that you might want to know or that you think they might tell you in the article. So what might be something we want to know about it that we don't? Well, they talked about lions and penguins, and I guess I would want to know, do lions sleep the same way that my house cat sleeps? So my house cat will like curl up in a little ball. Do lions sleep the same way? The picture they showed was a penguin kind of standing up. So do penguins sleep standing up? Stuff like that, I think we could definitely ask. Those might be some of the things they're going to tell us about. And then while we are reading, we are going to do something called visualizing. So we are going to read through this article and we are going to visualize what they are talking about. So it's kind of something that I can't really show you how to do. I can describe it a little bit to you while we do it, but I can't really show you because it's something that happens in your mind when you're thinking. Okay, so let's go back to the article. And we might not get all the way through the article in this video. We might have to go on to a fourth video, but we'll see when we get there. Okay, Animal World by Dr. Lou Jones, staff writer. Where do you sleep? Do you sleep on your back like a lion? When do you sleep? Have you ever thought about how different animals sleep? Each animal has a unique way of getting the rest of their body needs by sometimes sleeping in strange and unusual ways. So just read that. They start out by talking about the way that we sleep, humans, and they give a little reference to like the way lions sleep and unusual sleeping positions. So some people sleep in really unusual positions. Some people sleep on their side, their stomachs, their back. Just so the way he asked that, I want you to think about how you sleep. So he prompted you right off the bat to start thinking about that. So right off the bat, you're comparing the way you sleep with the way animals sleep. The back sleepers. Some cats like to sleep on their back. If you have a cat at home or see one at the zoo, pay close attention. So right there, that goes back to the question that I asked about lions sleeping like my house cat. So I'm visualizing my cats here at home curled up and sleeping. Big cats like cheetahs and lions often sleep on their back after a large meal. Their body stretches out with all four legs in mid-air. Many household cats use the same method of sleeping. Maybe this habit has been passed down to small felines over the years. So I can visualize my cats sometimes will plop themselves down in the middle of the living room floor with their bellies up in the air and just close their eyes and take a nap. So they're saying that might come down from lions. The sea otter is another type of animal that sleeps on its back. Sea otters sleep while floating in the water. The water allows them to glide slowly and gently for a relaxing slumber. A baby sea otter will sometimes sleep on its mother's tummy while the mother floats calmly down the stream on her back. So some of those words that talk about floating and glide slowly and gently, relaxing, that helps me visualize what it looks like for an otter to be floating in the water while it's sleeping, and even the babies on its mother's tummy. No shut-eye. Did you know that some animals sleep with their eyes open? Most fish sleep with their eyes open because they have no eyelids, so fish cannot close their eyes like people can. Many scientists believe that fish float around in a daydream or wedge themselves into a spot in the mud or coral to rest. They are resting, but their eyes are open to stay alert for danger. Okay, so when they talk about, do you know what it means to wedge yourself in somewhere? So it's like there's a tiny little space and you just push yourself in so that you're stuck there and you're wedged in. Have you ever seen the wedges that we use sometimes even at school to keep the doors open? We wedge it in underneath the door to keep it open and keep it from going shut. So that's a way you can visualize how the fish wedge themselves into a spot in the mud or the coral. A pillow made of feathers. Sleepy birds often tuck their beak under warm feathers by turning their head around into a tuft of feathers in their back or chest. With their beak tucked in, some birds, such as flamingos, stand for hours on one leg while they sleep. Penguins often tuck their beak and huddle together shoulder to shoulder to stay warm while they sleep. Their feathers are short and closely packed to keep them warm. They take turns moving to the inside of the group. Once they rest and warm up, they take their turn back on the circle's edge, giving others time in the warmer center. Okay, so we actually have a picture there of a penguin, but our text says that they kind of huddle or sleep shoulder to shoulder. So you know, I'm sure what it's like to be standing next to someone in such close quarters that you're shoulder to shoulder. So normally that's how penguins sleep. And they referenced flamingos, and most of us have seen, even if we've not seen real flamingos, we have seen the yard decor flamingos that sometimes we put in our yards, the way that they stand. So they actually stand like that to sleep. Wow. Okay. So hanging around for a nap. The way you sleep often tells how well your body will rest. Do you think you would get rest by sleeping in trees? Koalas know they would. Koalas are small, bear-like animals found in Australia. Scientists believe that animals that sleep in trees, such as the koala, have special features that keep them from falling. Koalas sleep about 20 hours a day. Then they spend the night eating eucalyptus leaves. It sounds like some of you teenagers that I know. Sleeping while standing. So remember, I want you to visualize as we read. Many animals sleep while standing. Large animals find sleeping while standing easier because they have trouble standing up quickly from a position on the ground. It is much easier to start running from a standing position. Horses, elephants, and rhinos are examples of large animals that mostly sleep while standing. Elephants and rhinos cannot sleep lying on their side for too long because pressure from their heavy body may cause breathing problems. Sweet dreams underwater. Aquatic animals are animals that live in the water. Some aquatic animals sleep underwater and then wake up and go to the surface for a breath of air. Manatees use this sleeping pattern. These large animals sleep underwater on sandy riverbeds. Every few minutes they rise to the surface to get air. Then they slowly and gently sink back down to snooze again. Dolphins have a very strange method of sleeping underwater. Dolphins can keep half of their brain awake, so they are always only half asleep. The bottlenose dolphin sleeps 1 to 2 hours with one side of the brain at rest, and then switches over to the other side of the brain for another few hours. Dolphins can also keep one eye open and one eye shut while sleeping. They sleep in a group circle and keep one eye alert for predators. The circle of sleeping dolphins appears as a large group, so predators are unwilling to risk an attack. Wow. So let's think about this article for a little bit, and then I will come back with video number 4.